them and use them across programs. So I'm going to select header and hold the shift key down and select down to medium header. So I have all of these 4 selected, and I'm going to choose from the flyout menu to do a save as styles. Now you can see that I have no real choice in here for export out my styles, which makes me very sad. So if I do a thing called copy to group, or essentially a new style group, I'm going to call this one the Astro group and click OK, and now they are all going to get moved into that folder. So that keeps it really clear that I have those things in a specific group. And if you look down here, it says add selected style to my current CC library. I cannot do it to the whole folder, but I can take all of these 4 things, and click on the little library button, and it should be adding there. Does not want to add. Okay, Adobe, that was a nice idea, but it's not working. We'll see if it actually is working. So now I'm going to go to Illustrator, and I'm going to just tab over to Illustrator, where I now have an 8.5 by 11 going the wrong way and a business card, and I'm going to start a new file, and this file will be like for the cover for this report I'm making. So I'm going to create a new file, and I'm going to make sure that it is the appropriate 8.5 by 11 size and that it is going portrait, not landscape style, and click OK. And there's my document. If I go to Window and I go to Libraries and I open this up, I think the idea is that I should be able to see anything that was added to my library in here. I don't see anything in this library. I'm assuming this is my same cloud library. Signed out of Creative Cloud. How can that be? Well, we'll talk more about that next time when I go and search up why it would be not logged in automatically. But for now, I'm going to go back into InDesign and grab some text. This is the old school way of doing this, and I want to use some of these same fonts. So before, I had created a little document over here where I have some dummy text and some of my text with my style 1. I'm going to switch between documents again. I'm going to get something of this larger situation and copy it. And go back to this little baby document and paste that in. And now I'll select some of all of it. So some of the body copy, the subhead, and the headline, and I will copy it. And I'll flip back over to Illustrator, and I'll go and create a text box. There it is. And I will paste, and sadly, my styles did not copy over. So I will get this new Creative Cloud library sorted out by next class and give you a full demo on it. In any case, when I select this text, it is coming in as Myriad Pro, and I can see that I want that at least to be Georgia. If I type G, I should get to the G's, and then Georgia. And then this text here at the top wants to be folks, bold. And I'll make another line here, also folks, bold. F, folks, bold. And I'll give this one a larger size. The carryover here is a little bit different insofar as we're looking at a single sheet, and previously we were looking at multiple pages. Designing text in Illustrator is an incredibly, really much different, better feeling. as far as doing something that requires finesse and much more sense of control when you're first starting out. We do, however, have under type paragraph styles, the same menu as we do in InDesign. And if I go to the flyout menu, I should be able to do load paragraph styles. There's load paragraph styles. I'm going to go to desktop and choose Astrology Basics, INDD, and see if it will load the styles directly. Does not want to do it. Okay. So it used to, but now there's a brand new thing recently, like in the last few weeks, of the Creative Cloud Library. So I'll catch up with that. So I'm going to select this text, and from the flyout menu, I'm going to make a new paragraph style, and I'm going to call it Big Header. And then the medium-sized one, the smaller one, same thing again, creating a new paragraph style. I'll just call this one Header. And then I will select this text, and I will give it a new paragraph style, and I will call it Body. And now I have my styles, and I don't need this, because that's not really part of my document. What I do need, however, is the information for the cover. And the information for the cover is in the very first document. So if I go to InDesign, I can at least get that text. I don't really need this page anymore. I'm going to close it, and I'm not going to save the changes. I'm going to go to the top of the first document here, which is got some content on it up here before everything else that I want to use for the cover. So I'm going to zoom out. So I'm going to go zoom, Z for zoom tool, except I'm in the type tool, so that doesn't work. And then I'm going to zoom out with the option click. And at the very top of this is where I have the information for the cover. All right. I'm going to select the text from the cover. I'm going to leave it here as well. So I'm not going to cut it. I'm just going to copy it. So I'm selecting it all, and I'm going to go Edit, Copy. I'm going to flip over using Command Tab over to Illustrator and Command Plus to zoom in. I am looking like I'm in the normal screen mode here. I don't have any margins. My rulers are not showing. I'm going to go View, under View, and Show Rulers. And that makes me feel a little better. Let's see if I can see my rulers. Let's try that again. View, Rulers, Show Rulers. Ah. Okay. And now I'm just going to do a little graphic design trick of my own, which is I'm going to show you how to make a perfect 1/4 inch box and use it to set the margins. I'm in Illustrator, and I'm going to be on the rectangle tool, and I'm going to hold the Option key down, and I'm going to click one time, and it will open up the rectangle dialog box. And I'll set that to 0.25 and press the Tab key, 0.25, and hit Return, and now indeed I have a 1/4 inch box. And that makes it very easy for me to create my margins of a 1/4 inch as long as I don't leave Illustrator. This is the ruler I want, and I'm going to set that right on this 1/4 inch mark and put the 1/4 inch box on the other side and use this ruler to set my 1/4 inch margin. I'm pretty good at guessing the top and the bottom that I like the spacing, but it's helpful for me to have those lines in for my margin. Now I'll create a text box and make sure it's well within that margin and paste, and there is the type for my title. My headline is Big Header. Doesn't look very big. And I think she knows what gender she is. Hitting a return there. All right, so fun with Illustrator, making a poster, something really that is going to be a lot more showy. So one of the things you might have noticed in InDesign is that I am trying to keep all the text in one box. All of the text for the entire document is flowing in one giant box after another, where I'm not taking Like when I want to make a headline, somewhere a Z got in there, I'm not taking this headline and making a different text box. Although in Illustrator, I will often do that. And the reason why is because I want to be able to move them around as separate objects. They're not really the flow of a whole story. They're telling something different. So some of these things that I'm showing now are much more appropriately aligned to your poster assignment now. So I'm now going to take this text out by selecting it and cutting it. Okay, cutting it, Command X. And then I highly recommend that you close your text boxes. Do not leave them big floppy boxes because they'll overlap each other and it'll be a pain later on when you're trying to select something and something is on top of something else and you can't select on it. So I'm going to make this a capital B and start styling this text for a poster kind of thing. Well, the first thing is this really needs to be a lot stronger. And I could do something subtle, but I'm not going to. I'm going to select this text and make it a hell of a lot bigger. So I'm going to click in this text box here in Illustrator and hold the Shift key, and I'm using the up arrow. Using the up arrow is resizing this type 10 points at a time. So now I have it large. It's now 60 points. And this person is important. They're the person paying. So again, I'm clicking and now I'm going to make it 1 point at a time bigger, not holding the Shift key. I'm just pressing the up arrow. Now it's 23 points. And now you see that there is a red box there. This red box indicates that Illustrator thinks that there's extra type in this box and it's not fitting, but it's probably just a return. See, there's a return there. And again, if I go to type and I go show hidden characters, I can see that there is a space and a return there. So I want that gone. I don't want the space. I don't want that return. I want to be able to make this box as small as I need to. And then since it's ugly and I don't want to keep looking at it, I'll go back over here and turn off show hidden characters so I can see my design better. And I've got more text that I want to work with. So I don't want all this text to be bold like this. I can see it's folks bold, and I'm just going to use folks. Shades, lying, not using that. Just folks light. Okay, that looks pretty decent. And I want to center it. So this text box, important, is going from corner to corner within the margins. So if I click on center text, it is not centering my text. It's now flailing. Okay, let's try it again. Let's select it, and it says it's centering. It's not centering because of the tabs. What? Not pretty. All right, be that way. See what I care. I'm going to come over here instead and take a look here under type and under I'm looking for my paragraph controls. File, edit. Not very evident. Because there are tabs in here. There's definitely tabs, and tabs are part of this type control here. And I am not seeing my tab menu. Window, type. Wow, in just like 2 weeks, things have updated in here, and I'm not finding really important things that I should be able to just show you immediately, so I apologize. Type. Okay, better. Type tabs. There it is. Ha ha ha. All right, tabs. Type tabs. So it used to be under this type. See how it says window type? Tabs? See where I'm getting that from? So it's window type tabs. And a couple of weeks ago, it was under here, type. So it's moved. That's nice. All right, so now I can see that there's really not a lot going on here in terms of tabs. But I want some better tabs than this. So this is the left align tab button. And this is the right align tab button. And this is the center align tab button. And this is the decimal point align button. So I'm going to add a tab here for this text that comes after born on the 19th, or the first line. So first I'm going to put one in here by clicking at 1 3/4 inches, and ooh, I hit it right on the mark. So there it says 1.75, and this actually tabbed over to 1.75. If all is right in the world and I click before September and I press tab, it should line up. And obviously it's not going to work because this universal time stamp here is further out. So I'm going to select all the type again, and I'm going to take this and move it over to 3 inches just to be safe. It's the same tab. Stop. There it is. Okay. So now it's all tabbed over. And I can close this tab panel. Very exciting. If I select again, will it center? I don't think it will. I think I have to move the box over. So this can be scary. Yes, very scary. Do not want that. But I do want this whole batch of text to center, so I'm going to bring it over till this is just close enough before that falls on the next line. And there is a center mark right there in the middle of this box. A quick centering graphic design tool trick is I'm going to create a rectangle that goes completely across the entire width, and then you use a ruler and drop that on this center mark right here. Take the box out, take this and move it over so that the center mark is on the center mark, and that is a hand centering trick. Okay, and then I'll look at it in no guides, so I'll choose view, and I will go to guides and hide the guides, guides, hide guides, and I can see what I have so far. Okay, so here's my headline type, here's my supporting information, and now I want to start adding some graphics. I am not going to go over the top design-wise tonight. I'm showing you the procedure to put together the types and the elements for your poster without over-designing. So the next thing I need to do is make sure this is saved, file save as, and I'm just going to call this chart cover, and click save, and OK. And now I have an Illustrator file called chart cover, and I'm going to stop this recording.